Hey folks, Deano here again. This time, taking a look at a figure I actually just recently realised I had never reviewed. Yeah, I had this guy for a while, and yeah, looked back at some of my videos and realised I'd never actually reviewed him. So yeah, call this an archive review, if you will. I might do some more of these in the future, just to showcase some of the older figures in comparison to the new ones, that sort of thing. But yeah, this is Krillin, Earth's strongest man. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, he is actually the strongest Earthling. As far as I know, yeah, could have swore TN was stronger, but there you go. That is the title. And I believe it's actually in the Daizenshu as well. So yeah, this figure is a couple of years old at this point. Was one of the first to utilise the 3.0 engineering, which is probably why, like, now it looks a little bit wonky, should I say? Like, the proportions are right, but that upper torso, like, yeah, I'll go into more detail, like, closer in the review. But yeah, without further ado, let's get him off the turntable and take a look at the box. So yeah, taking a look at the box, it's just your standard newer style Figuarts packaging for the Dragon Ball line. You've got Krillin front and centre, or front and right, with some nice images there. You've got an image that's kind of cut off at the top, it's a bit strange. And you've also got Krillin, Earth's strongest man. I believe this is one of the first figures they decided to do these subtitles with. They've been getting weirder and weirder as the time has gone on. But yeah, designed by Tamashii Nations Japan, Bandai Spirits made in Vietnam. Again, this is when Vietnam was very hit or miss. I mean, it still is to this day. Like, was Trunks not a Vietnam release? And look what his first edition ended up as. But yeah, I'm happy to report when I got mine, didn't have much issues. The legs are kinda loose, but yeah. Dragon Ball logo, Bandai, Tamashii Nations, toy sticker, all your usual yada yada. I do quite like the orange that they've used for the back. Got another part there, Earth's strongest man, and on the back we have some nice pictures of him. So yeah, but I do really like this release, I will say. Different importer this time, I think. I think I originally got this off of Amazon. But yeah, that kind of looks like an Italian distributor. Not sure how or why I've ended up with that, but there you go. And some more images on the side. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at his accessories now. So in terms of accessories, he actually comes with a fair amount, surprisingly, including, first thing that I'll show is his Destructo Disc, or Kenzan, which is much better made than the first version, and it is not as brittle as the model kits version. Yeah, both of those broke on me like very quickly after reviewing them. But yeah, this one has a lot more detail than the original Figuarts one, and yeah, it just pegs into the hand. Which, you know me, I like my customization. I still have the 1.0 Krillin bootleg. I don't have the original, I got rid of that many moons ago. But yeah, a quick drill bit into the hand, and this thing fits perfectly in the bootleg hands. In terms of extra heads, he comes with, I'll show this one off first. It comes with this one in the package, which is very nice. The proportions on the head are really good. So yeah, Looks far more like Krillin than the original did. He also comes with a yelling head. I am not sure why the white balance is going mental whenever he goes out of frame. There you go. Maybe it's his chrome dome. But yeah, we have a nice yelling face, dots, nicely painted. So yeah, really like that. We have the goofy face. Get rid of that. He's sort of worried. That way Krillin always goes, where he's a bit of a coward, but he always comes through in the end. I think this is actually specifically from when the androids like beat up everyone, and then they flew up to him, and he was absolutely terrified just before 18 kissed him. But yeah, again, really nicely done. One thing I am very glad about with Tamashii is that they finally made his eyes skin tone. I know how weird that looks, like in comparison to the white, but the skin tone is more accurate to the show. So yeah, we've also got nice gritty teeth looking off to the side face, which I really enjoy. Fly here. Get away. There we go. So yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't come with a smiling face, which is basically what Krillin's known for. Like, I don't understand why Tamashii don't do it. We got a smiling face with the original, but the eyes were shut. So yeah, he's sort of happy-go-lucky, so a bit strange that we don't have a happy-go-lucky face. It's like the exact same issue we had with Goku for years. Like, they refused to do a happy smiling face with him. So yeah, in terms of hands, he comes with quite a lot of them. We have a pair of Ki Blast hands. Put on the white balance to refocus. There we go. This is the first time we've seen these new designed hands with skin tone. I have already double checked, these do work fine with the new 3.0 Gohan as well. We've got a pair of instant transmission, or I guess in Krillin's case, the solar flare or the Taioken. Although the solar flare, like, it's half and half what pose the hands are in. Speaking of which, the pose on the front of the box is completely wrong for doing the solar flare, but that's just nitpicking. A pair of Kamehameha hands. Pair of martial arts posy hands. Well, focus then. There we go. A pair of even more splayed out hands with holes in them for the Destructo disc. If I get one of them here, it just pegs right in. Easy as that. Nice. I like that. And finally, something which, if you have the Gohan, this will be quite useful if you ever do a Super Saiyan 2. And we have a hand holding the Senzu Bean, a Senzu Bean bag. So yeah, very nicely done. The paintwork is spotless on it, considering the fact it's all one sculpt and I've had to paint the bag. But yeah, do really like that. So yeah, quite a lot of accessories. Just to prove it to you, I'll quickly do this on camera. So yep, hand fits in perfectly. The hand is a little bit bigger than Gohan's for some reason, but it works nonetheless. So yeah, you can imagine what that looked like with Super Saiyan 2. If Tamashii do like a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with the slight battle damage and stuff in the 3.0 mold, I fully expect them to give us the Senzu Bean bag again. But just in case, it is in with Krillin. So yeah, let's bring this guy in and discuss the actual figure now. So yeah, like I said before, or alluded to, I really like how this figure is proportioned and such, but because he was one of the first 3.0 molds to use the gi and such, this top half of his gi, if you haven't seen this yet, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to unsee it, but it looks as if he's wearing like a sports bra. If it'll focus, there we go. So yeah, it doesn't look right to me. I think it's the smaller proportions because it's nowhere near as bad on Gohan or the demoniacal fit Goku, the Martialist Forever. But because of Krillin's like smaller frame, these just, yeah, I'm sorry, they look like bra straps to me. Please don't demonetize me for mentioning the word bra, YouTube. But yeah, it looks like a vest. It really does. Not helped by the fact that the shoulders like kind of look a bit higher up than they should when like compared with here. I'm meaning this section right here. It looks kind of high up. But yeah, I have a feeling if this guy came out now, he would have benefited from the same design as Gohan, where the top bit's a rubber piece. But you can see like these two are almost the same height. Krillin's a little bit bulkier, but that's just because of who Krillin is. But yeah, you can tell Gohan's a lot slimmer and a lot nicer looking than Krillin's sculpt is. So yeah, Gohan really is the best of both worlds at this point. Which I was very surprised when people commented saying that they had some QC issues with him. I am sorry to hear that. Like, Gohan, I don't have any issues with him, but I hope you got it fixed by Tamashii if you did have QC issues with the legs being too tight at that. So yeah, moving on, back to Krillin. I really do like the design. There's a bit of shading on the lower legs, which for some reason isn't anywhere else. Why, Tamashii? Like, why did you do that? That just makes the legs look darker than the rest of the figure. Like, yeah, if you were going to give him a bit of an airbrush to sort of accentuate the colours, make it look less plasticky, you could have at least done it to the whole figure. Like, come on. But yeah, apart from that, I really do like him. The colours are nice. I like the dark blues. I like the bright orange. So yeah, the turtle helmet logo is very nicely applied as well. Nice tampograph there. And yeah, there's a bit of a seam line on his head, which is a bit of an annoyance, but I don't really know how they could get rid of that any other way. Like, yeah, I think that's just something you would have to live with. But yeah, overall, I love the paint scheme and stuff on him. A lot more accurate than the original and darker than the model kit, so works quite well. But yeah, in terms of articulation, Krillin has one of these new, like, it's a double barbell joint, but he also has this big piece here that they give to a lot of these bald characters and such. Just pops on nicely. Jiren had the exact same thing, but yeah, two of them together, he gets a lot of range at the top. The lower neck doesn't really move a whole lot, but it does help. So yeah, once the side to side, that's just the bonus of a barbell joint. So you can look up that far, look down that far, that's including the neck movement. You can get down that far, you can look at his own chest, tilt, tilt, swivel, all that good stuff. 3.0 shoulders, So, strangely enough though, unlike the Demonaico Fit Goku, where the blue was actually the shoulder itself, I can feel it's actually a floating piece on this guy, which is strange. I think Demonaico Fit done a better job with that. But yeah, it doesn't get in the way any, which is good. You can get up that far. You can swivel all the way around, completely unimpeded. The butterfly joint is one of the new style, where it's an angled ball joint going back and forth. Does give him quite a lot of range if you use it. Really good. Nice to see those are usable. It does get a little bit finicky though, trying to get it in a position where the shoulders are actually at the same level as on the torso. Ab swivel, double jointed elbows, gets past 90, ball hinge at the wrist, the ab section, you can go back that far, forward that far. He has swivel both at the abs and the waist, which is quite good, makes it look very natural. Strangely enough, the belt is actually sculpted to the sort of crotch area, which is strange. Another thing this guy sort of is limited with, he has the butt flap. Unfortunate. The newer one, like Gohan, is a lot better off with the 3.5 design, I'm calling it. But yeah, belt does swivel, although I'm getting a little bit of, I don't know if you can make that out, right there. There's a little bit of sort of tension there, so yeah, I'm worried about that ripping at some point. Yeah, looks good. Legs can go up that far, can't go back any. It does sort of pop down ever so slightly. Thigh rotation, can do the splits, absolutely no issues. That is one of the selling points of 3.0. Double joint at the knees, careful of this knee, it isn't very tight in that joint, you might want to super glue it. No boot cut, although he does have one at the ankle. It doesn't have the new Namek Goku, unfortunately, so that's as far down as it goes. That's as far up as it goes. There is no hinge back and forth to give it a bit more range. Ankle pivot is good, and toe articulation is completely fine. So yeah, all in all, I really like this figure. He replaced my model kit one, which was the one that was on my shelf for years. So yeah, we'll do a quick comparison with the old one. This is the bootleg. Even though he's got his legs splayed out a bit more, he's still taller. This was back when the bootleg companies were trying to completely copy them. Then they realised they couldn't really copy the joints properly. As you can see, quick drill bit into the bootleg's hands, completely fixed that. And I can use the new Destructo disc with him. So yeah, you can see massive difference between these two. This guy was decent for his time, but yeah, nowadays he just does not look good at all. And I am trying to stop the camera from completely obliterating the white balance here. It must be his dome. It has to be. And here he is with the model kit. Oh, the model kit has the bootleg face on it. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, just another thing I'd done a while back. Drilled out the neck hole so that it fits in the model kit. But yeah, that's the only smiling face we have ever gotten. I mean, this guy's smiling, but you can't really see the details because it's a model kit. Plus the eyes are white. That annoys me to no end, honestly. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review. Let me know what you guys think about this guy. I will try to find a link on AliExpress and Amazon for this guy. He's still going relatively cheap, as far as I can remember. But yeah, if you're missing him, don't wait until he goes sky high like the original did. Back in the day, the original skyrocketed in price because he was the only one available. But yeah, if you can get a hold of this guy at just about retail, I definitely recommend you do it. So yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review, and I'll see y'all later.